Hello and a warm welcome to your Pilates class today. This is a steady, balanced Pilates class that blends deep core work, waist and hip strengthening and integrated full body flow. Expect slow, deliberate movement, traditional mat sequences and a calm finish that leaves you grounded, centered and clear. Let's start by sitting cross-legged and taking some shoulder rolls. Take a couple of rounds, going back and then changing direction for forward. Think of these first few minutes as just arriving in your body, finding stillness before strength. Let's drop our ear to shoulder, side to side, and then go straight into seated cat-cow. So rounding the spine as you drop forward, arching the spine as you bring yourself back. Hands are resting on the knees, just helping you to open the hips as you subtly push your legs towards the earth. And making this move as expansive as you like, and then moving straight into circles. So you are circling the torso and then changing direction. Moving your head, your neck, your shoulders, your arms as much as you want to here. Just getting warmed up and ready for a practice ahead. Coming back to a couple of cat-cows, making them a little bit more expansive. Before coming onto your hands and your knees. With your wrists below your shoulders, we're taking some body circles here. So it's a little bit like a cat-cow, but you're also moving from side to side at the same time. There's really no right or wrong way to do these. You just want to articulate the spine, move the spine. And then we're coming into our thread the needles. So you're rooted into your left hand and you're sweeping the right arm up overhead, thread the needle and pause for a couple of breaths. We're taking that to the other side, expansively up, thread the needle, pause for a couple of breaths. In order to prepare our core for our sequences ahead, we're coming into some knee floats. So tucking the toes, rooting into the hands and just floating the knees up just 2 or 3 inches for a couple of breaths. Keeping the back straight. Releasing down, maybe tapping out the feet here if they need a little release. And straight away going again. Never holding the breath, continuing to breathe here in your knee floats. Tap out the feet. On this last hover, we're going to do some knee taps down, some tiny knee taps down for 10. Keeping the movement slow and precise and very deliberate. Almost done. And release. We're coming onto our backs now for some bridge mobilizations. So lying down, you're going to roll up to a bridge and then roll down slowly. I'm going to add in some movement of the arms, a reach overhead as you rise up, and then gently articulating the spine down. So rising up and down, one vertebrae at a time. And from here we bring to the hands on the belly, bring the knees apart and just take in a couple of supine twists. You can pause then, twisting to the right, and you can turn your head the opposite direction. And then twist to the left and turn your gaze, your head to the right. And this completes our gentle warm-up. Hug your knees into your chest and get ready for segment 1. Let's start round 1 of core activation and abdominal work. slow burn, classical precision. So lying on your back for the 100 prep, we're bringing the knees into tabletop and keeping the arms long. We're going to pulse the arms for 30 counts. So you want to stack your knees over your hips here and trying to resist any temptation to bring the knees any closer to you. Exhaling as you pump the hands. Lovely, let's release the legs down. We're coming into a single leg stretch. So we're starting nice and slow and we want to focus on lengthening the legs here. And we want to stay quiet in the pelvis. We want the strength to come from the hip and the waist. Using the hands to help pull the leg towards the core. Transitioning now to double leg stretch. Keeping it slow, controlled, focusing on the length. The toes are pointed and always exhaling on the exertion here. Stillness in the core creates clarity in the legs. We're moving into scissors, but not before hugging the knees into the chest and taking a little break. So we're alternating legs. The foot never fully comes back down onto the mat, and therefore you're keeping that full time under tension as you scissors the legs. Exhaling through the mouth. Keeping that pelvis quiet, keeping that core tight. Let the movement be simple and let the simplicity be strong. Let's hug the knees into the chest here for a moment for a little break. And then we're extending out the legs again and crisscross this time. So crisscross with long legs. An engaged core and a quiet pelvis. Hug the knees into chest. Rock in and out. And speaking of rocking, I'm going to take some little rocks here after our full body stretch. Come all the way up into a full roll up. Nice and smooth, slow, controlled. The heels are glued to your mat. Exhaling as you roll up and reaching forward, scooping and hollowing out the abdomen area. Slow and controlled, try not to use momentum to come forward here. Coming onto the belly now to stretch it all out. You've done your first segment, so enjoy a deep stretch of the abdominal wall in your swan dive. So pushing the pelvis into the mat, legs are straight, toes are pointed, knees lift away from the floor, legs are active. And we are done with our first round. Lie back down, ready for round 2. Let's go with our 100 prep. On an exhale, bringing the legs up to tabletop, arms along, and we are pulsing the arms for 30 counts. The knees are stacked over the hips and the feet are roughly in line with the knees. Your gaze is up towards the ceiling and you're exhaling with each pump of the arms. So breathing a little faster. and release. Getting ready for our single leg stretch now. Focusing on the length, slow and controlled, using your hands to pull the leg in towards your core. Keeping every single movement very controlled, very precise. Moving on to double leg stretch now. So you're pulsing the leg in towards you each time. Staying focused and concentrating on the movement that you're in. Take a break, hook knees into chest and get ready for scissors. As one leg comes up, one goes down and vice versa. The feet never rest down on the mat here in scissors. The movement is coming from the hips. The core is activated. The legs are long. If you need a bend in your knees, that's okay. But otherwise, try to have them as straight and long as you can. Pressing the hands into the floor to help keep you steady here in your scissors. Take a break, hug knees into chest. We're moving on to crisscross. So extend out the legs, move them away from the floor, and alternating the criss and the cross of the feet and legs, alternating which leg is on top. Keep that abdomen flat. And hug the knees into the chest. Well done. Take a little roll in your head towards your knees. And then we're progressing to full roll-ups now. So full body stretch. Take an inhale. On your exhale, smooth roll up, rounding the spine and reaching forward with your hands. Slowly coming back down, placing each vertebrae down individually. Inhale and exhale. This is all about quality here. We're only doing a couple, but each one will count. Slow and controlled. Inhale and exhale. Roll up. Reach forward. Slowly roll back down. And we are done with round 2. We've only got one more round of core activation and abdominal work. So stretch it out. Come into your swan dive. Get a lovely stretch of that abdominal wall. Some controlled compression of the spine here, which is really good for it. Pushing your pelvis down, activating the legs. A lovely stretch before we do our third and final core. So you know what you're doing now. We're starting with the 100 prep, and this is going to be our strongest 100 prep. On the exhale, you're bringing your knees to tabletop, arms are long. With the knees stacked over the hips, we are pulsing the arms up and down for 30 sharp exhales. Keeping quiet in the pelvis and letting the strength come from the core here. We're moving on to our single leg stretch. And the strength here comes from steadiness, not speed. As you're repeating the sequence now, imagine peeling away tension and dropping deeper into your center. Coming to doubles now, finding some stillness through the ribs, strength through the abdominals. This is our very last round of double leg stretch. Make each one count, make each one strong and deliberate. And hug your knees into your chest. Moving on to our last round of scissors. Alternating left and right. Trying not to use momentum here, keeping it slow, controlled, and just hovering each leg a couple of inches from the mat. Upper body's perfectly still and you're gazing up towards the ceiling here. Almost there. And hug knee into chest. Last round of crisscross. Extend out the legs, hover. Alternate left over right, right over left. You can stay nice and high if you're feeling challenged, or lower to the mat. And hug knees into chest, well done. Let's bring your forehead towards your knees, you curl yourself into a ball and getting ready for our last round of roll-ups. So a full body stretch. Exhale, slow and deliberate. Last chance for deep core activation here. Slowly and deliberately, all the way back down. Inhale to prepare, exhale and roll up. Hollowing out the tummy. Slowly articulating back down. Inhale, full body stretch. Exhale. And smiling because we're done. Rolling over onto the tummy to stretch out that abdominal wall one more time. We will do it at the very end as well. But for now, enjoy your swan dive. Energizing through the legs, pointing the toes, pushing the pelvis down, shoulders down and back. Shine your heart forward and stretch out all the muscles you've just worked. Well done. We are moving on. Let's get started on round one of side lying series and obliques. So you're going to begin by lying on your side facing your device. And we are going to go straight into leg lifts. So long legs, waist is lifted, toe is pointed. And instead of bringing your leg back down to rest on the other one, you're going to have a little hover here. So little hover and then extend up as high as you can. We're going for 10 reps. From our leg lifts, we're going into small circles. We're taking 10 each direction. So this is slow, controlled, a small movement and very precise. After 10 rounds, change direction. We're about halfway through the second side. And we are done. Instead of relaxing that leg down now, we're bringing it in towards the chest and extending it long and then up and down. So in towards the chest, extend, up and down. In towards the chest and then back to leg lift. So each movement has two parts. both equally controlled, both equally precise. Exhaling as that knee comes towards your chest. Almost done with 10 reps. Give yourself a little massage if needed. Change sides, but make sure that you're still facing towards the screen. We're going to repeat that sequence to the other side. So setting yourself up for your leg lifts. Long legs, toe pointed, waist is lifted. Remember that hover. And by waist lifted, I mean try not to collapse your side body onto the floor. Try to have a little gap there at your waist if you can. After our 10 reps, we're going to be going into our small circles now. Small, precise, controlled. And let's change direction for 10 more. And 7, and 6, and 5, and 4, and 3, and 2. Last one. Don't relax that leg down because we are coming into the chest and then leg lift up and down. Exhaling for 2. Into the chest, leg lift, into the chest, and long legs for 6, for 7, for 8, for 9. Last one, make it strong. Well done. You might want to give yourself a little massage wherever you can feel that working the muscles. Let's go for round 2 of side lying series and obliques. So you know what you're doing now, so really focus on form and precision. Starting with our leg lifts. Little hover when the foot comes down, it never rests down, and keeping your leg straight if you can. I mean, a bend in the knee is okay if straight is not happening for you, but think about lots of height here and toe pointed rather than flexed. We have 10 reps. Let's go into our small circles. And if they felt really easy last time, maybe they're feeling a little tiny bit more challenging now, but still want to keep it controlled, small, and precise. It's not about making them big and then change direction. It's about making them consistent as well. So you don't want to be getting bigger and bigger or smaller and smaller. You want to keep it consistent here. Gorgeous. And let's get ready to bring that knee into chest and extend long and then up and down. So a 2-part movement here, knee to chest and up and down. Exhale to chest, up and down, slow and controlled. You want to keep that upper body exactly as it is. You're not bringing your chest towards the knee, just the knee towards the chest. We're halfway done. For 7, for 8, for 9, last one, great job. A massage anything that needs massaging, and then flip over to the other side. Set yourself up We are starting with our leg lifts again. Maintaining that hover and long legs. Halfway done already on this second round. Last two. Last one, and into small circles. Controlled, small, precise, consistent. The movement is coming from the hip. And change direction now. Take an inhale. On your exhale, knee to chest. And then up and down, back to your leg lift. 2 parts. Each part equally strong and precise. Total focus. Last one, give it your all, and you are done. Well done. We just have one more round to do of these. Here we go into the third and final round of our side lying series and obliques, beginning for the final time with leg lifts, keeping the legs long, the waist lifted, the little hover, control, precision, staying strong even if the legs are feeling a little tired, still hitting an invisible target here. So whatever your longest, tallest leg was is what you're going to hit for these last few on this side. Well done. It's time to move into the small circles, 10 each direction. Each one of the 10 identical, controlled, small movement and precise. Change direction now. Last couple. Let's bring that knee to chest, then up and down to leg lift. So we're getting the hip, we're getting the outer thigh, we're getting the lower abdomen, we're getting the obliques. Last 5. And we are almost there, just one final time on the other side. And we are done with side body. Last round of leg lifts, counting down from 10 to 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. small circles for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Change direction. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Well done. Inhale, exhale, knee to chest. We're on the final stretch here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Last 3. Stay strong. Last 2, each one identical. Last 1. And well done. You have completed the side lying series and obliques. Welcome to part 1 of 2 of glutes, back body and full body integration. So you're starting lying on your belly here, and we are starting with swimming prep. So we will be lifting opposite arm and leg. I'm doing right arm, left leg for 8 slow reps before repeating on the other side. Keeping the head down to protect the neck and fully focused on lifting opposite arm and leg. Let's get ready to change sides now. Left arm, right leg. The rest of the body is still glued to the mat. Steady breath. Let's integrate both together now. Opposite arm and leg. Lifting the head into full swimming, paddling the arms and legs, keeping the breath steady. And rest. Let's bring the arms behind you now and lift the legs as you rise up. You can either swing the arms behind you or you can bring the arms into like a cactus arm. Elbows bent, so whichever one of those 2 options you prefer. And then to stretch out, we're taking a lovely swan. Rooting into the hands and rising up, shining your heart forward and gently bringing yourself back down. We've been doing these anyway to stretch out the abdominal wall after our ab work. So this should be familiar by now. Just pausing for a couple of breaths and then gently bringing yourself down and rising up again whenever you're ready. From here, we're dropping it back into a little flow between child's pose and plank. Strong plank. Drop the knees. Drop down to child's pose. So flowing gently between child's pose and plank, but making sure that you fully drop down into each one. And we are into our final round of glutes, back body and full body integration, which is our last segment before we cool down. So we're starting with our swimming prep again. So starting with the right arm and the left leg, raising and lowering. Head is down. Last one. Changing sides. Left arm, right leg for 1. For 4. For 8. Extend that right arm forward now, coming into a full swimming. So we're moving opposite arms and legs just like we did. But now the front body is lifted, the lower of the legs is lifted too. So your pelvis is pressing down, paddling the arms and legs and keeping your breath steady here, even as you build up some heat. And rest. Let's get that arms behind you there or into the cactus arms. Lifting and lowering. Let's stretch it all out now with our last swan dive. Pushing the pelvis into the mat. Coming back down piece by piece when you're ready, coming back in. So we're not holding it for a long period of time here. We're gently easing in and out, making sure there's no pain or discomfort in that lower back here. And we have our child's pose to plank, little mini flow. So you're flowing back and you're flowing forward. And every time you plank, your shoulders are above your wrists, your fingertips are pressing into your mat, and your hips are low. They're not up in a down dog. Drop all the way down into your child's pose, not skipping any steps here, and strong plank. Child's pose. And plank. Let's hold this plank a little longer. We're just coming to the end of our class. So finishing with a strong hold of your plank. Gently release the knees down and take a child's pose. Drop all the way down onto your belly and back for our last and final plank. Holding this last plank, staying strong, strong shoulders, push the earth away, hips are low, shoulders over wrists, gazes down. And we're done, well done. Strong finish, give yourself a little clap. We are done, let's get ready to cool down now. Let's come to lying on your back and pull your right knee into your chest, the left leg is bent. Let's extend the left leg now, but hover so it's not resting down. Right knee is still being pulled in towards your chest, left leg is extended and hovering. Let's swap sides now. You can start with that right knee bent, left knee in towards your chest. So getting a lovely hamstring stretch. To extend that leg long now, but hover. Hold the hover. Coming into our figure 4, so crossing your right leg over your left thigh, interlace your fingers around your left thigh and pull in towards your chest. It's a lovely glute release. You can rock gently from side to side for additional release here, if that feels good to you. And let's release and change sides. Straight back into that glute release on the other side. We're pausing here for a number of breaths, and again, if you like, you can gently rock from side to side. You could also point and flex the feet here to take ankle circles in case there's any tension in the feet. Your head is down on your mat. You're keeping your face relaxed, the jaw soft. And release. Take a full body stretch here. And when you're ready, you can come onto your belly for a little seal, which is a gentler way of stretching out the abdominal wall and a controlled compression of the spine. You can bring your feet further apart and make this nice and relaxing now. Option to go for one last swan dive. Only if it feels good. You've done all the hard work. This is all about cooling down, about being restorative, about being calming. You could also bend one leg in towards your glute and swap sides if that feels good too. Releasing yourself back down to seal if you were in the swan. Push yourself up for a child's pose, but come up onto your fingertips now. So we're getting a little deeper into the shoulders. Lovely shoulder stretch. We want to lengthen, we want to release, we want to reset. Getting as close to your mat as you can here and grounding through your forehead. Let's come up to sitting. You can be cross-legged or a mermaid and just take some overhead stretches from side to side just to get into that side body. And we are done. Well done on a fantastic class. I will see you next time on the mat.